Yeah. So we're here. Cocktails and Conversations. We're back. Like, I got the little intro for us.
Oh, look at that. And it's a monster beat, right?
Yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. So we're trying to do this correct. Every week, we're going to try to get better and better with this one. So, let me turn this down a little bit, too. Oh, there you go.
Oh, that's dope right there.
Ah, yeah. Cocktails and Conversations. We here. So, thank you all for coming out, staying with us. We here.
Yeah, we here.
Yes,
appreciate y'all joining us today.
Praise be to Allah. Yeah, man, you know, we're excited. We got our equipment, so we're figuring it out week by week at this point.
Getting better and better, man.
Yes. So, week 3, episode 3 of this new season 2, I guess. Praise be to God. Man, how's your week been going, bro?
It's been pretty good, man. I'm telling you, it's been real good, man. I got some great news and making some progress. So you know me, I keep on working in the dark and then let it come to light.
Darkness, baby. When I talk to my cousin always says, "So how you doing?" He said, "Well, the devil ain't caught me this week, so I'm good."
How's your week been going?
Oh man, I am blessed. Oh, so you're all turning in. We just getting, like I said, getting used to our equipment a little bit more and more. And I like this piece that I picked up on here for this one is hello.
Look at that. Either I'm talking to Darth Vader or Satan. Y'all should see he got the whole glow in the dark and everything.
Oh man. We were talking before, and I just got off the phone with again Miss Temple, and she always giving me some guidance and some and some chastisement, I guess, in words, because I haven't finished my assignment, whatever, for the week. So we here. And we're going to get her on the show soon, so you'll see how she is. But the conversation that we were having, and again, Brother Tim and I were just dealing with, is the missed opportunity.
Yep. We all have them.
We all have these in life, and they're not like the boring arrow. They're not like they're like a sped bullet. Not a boring arrow. They do not return quite often.
No, they don't.
So we're here.
You know what? When it comes to, we were talking about crossing over to the 40s. And a lot of people can talk about, opportunities they miss, but I think that's what prepares you. Some things I jumped on early and capitalized on it. Some things I missed out on it. But I think that with everything that develops, who you are and what you're in tune to. We all can look at like different business dealings, or, man, I had an opportunity to buy the houses when in Atlanta when the prices was low. And you look at that like, man, what cost of a regular house would get you a mansion right now? You know what I mean? What used to be what mansion prices was, a regular price for, a really, really nice home, would be 3.5. You be living like a king. That's like you can't even buy your mom house for the same 3.5. 350,000, So, when you look at missed opportunities, what it does is fine tune you. A lot of us have those things. And I look at it, I used to be like, oh man, do you regret this or you regret that? I've learned that looking back on things is only to kind of prepare you to look forward. When you're looking forward, you're like, okay, I see something. I recognize what I missed last time by not speaking up, by not being prepared, and that comes, a lot of times that comes with not having the direction that you need. not focusing on what you have, what your goals are. And that's what the 20s are for. 20s and 30s are for kind of getting yourself together to focus on what you want to do. So a lot of times I look at it, I know I talked about that last episode, is that, those things build who you are.
Character.
Missed opportunities. My lovely wife has joined us, and she's now scrolling on her phone. And I can remember, like, we all have like different things that we missed, and she was one of those things that I was not going to miss this time. All of us can look back at either a relationship or maybe a degree that you wanted, or maybe an industry that you want to jump into. Like if you could have jumped into the VR or the AI industry, and that was me. I was going to do it. I'm going to do it. And life happens. You go to another direction, but that fine tunes you for the next thing. And I remember, and I think I said this before, but it's not the missed things, it's the timing, and you have to realize that if you're in the mindset of, hey, I had this idea. Remember we talked about that last time? I got this idea. Well, that's just to prepare you for the next one. You understand? The ideas come and go. Opportunities come and go. But it's like, okay, now I know what to do for the next one. God is preparing me for something now. Let me get prepared for the next thing.
So what happens, I think we were talking offline in regards to the missed opportunities and God sending something to you and you're not acting on it. And I'm going to jump on that real quick because this is offline. And I was telling you, I think we were off talking offline. God sends you things in life. And if you do not act on them, his will be done.
Yeah.
This was our conversation offline after last time, that his will be done. And what made me understand this, again, 20s, you have to understand things. If you're willing to first listen and then listen to what someone's telling you and then look into why they're saying it. So, and people, if you believe it's facetious or not, go look into my paperwork on this one. I always try to leave a paper trail when you need to in your life, people. So my senior year in college, we had a presentation, and the presentation was to make a mock business for the future that you would try to sell. This is my business class. I think it was marketing. And I waited to the last minute, but it was in my mind, but I did this. The presentation that I did was cell phones. This is 2004, people, 2004, 2005. So if you're old enough, cell phones were not what we have them today. We still have that analog digital type phone that we had. And I remember I had the Sprint long cell phone with the antenna with that newest phone that year. And matter of fact, Nextel was becoming big. The Chirp was coming big at that point. Man. So I want to get a Chirp when I got out of school and a BlackBerry. So anyhow, we did the presentation. My presentation in class was cover cases for a cell phone and ringtones. Now, I remember talking about ringtones when I was in high school. This is 2000, because my father had, remember that white Nokia phone everybody had? You could play Snake on?
Indestructible phone.
Right. So my father had that phone, but his phone was always ringing. I got tired of hearing the same ringtone. I was like, man, we should sell ringtones. You can make a lot of money off that one. But what it happened to do is people can change it, put whatever way they want to, and it'd be real cool. It was a joke to me. 18 years old, I said that. And again, my graduating year of college, I bring it back up again. Again, it's done in a joke. My teacher loves it. She's like, I never thought about that. You should do it. I was like, oh, whatever. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward 3-4 years, you have the ringtone boom.
There it is.
And the person who made some of the most money off the ringtones was DJ Unk.
Man,
I think they say he did like $1 million or $2 million per song just off ringtones.
It's crazy.
God's will would be done.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not, And I was a little. I wasn't never sad. It was like, oh damn, I had a good idea. But what happens too often is when we have the missed opportunities, we as people lay on this thing as a hammock. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Oh man, that was my idea. Man, he stole that from me. You never acted on it, brother.
Exactly.
So it's never a stolen idea.
Exactly.
It's God giving you the idea before he gave it to someone else. They just chose to act on it.
Exactly.
So what it's a way to show you that God is with you. But if you choose not to be with him,
that's it.
That's it right there.
You said something right there.
Most of us are not choosing to be with him. We're choosing to, like they said, when we say, do you accept God as your Lord and Savior? And you say, oh yeah, I accept God. But do you really? When you accept God as your Lord and Savior, you are looking to let his will be done. Going back to our conversation again, we've been messing up for a long time doing this. Too long we've been asking what? God, this is what I want in my life. I'm 6'2", I'm bald head, got strapping weight. I'm look good. Let me be a basketball player. Dude, you couldn't dribble a ball to save your life. Why are you trying to be a basketball player, brother? Well,
you suck on 2K. You think you about the ball.
Right. So, why are you trying to do this? Instead of sitting down saying, guys, you know what? And I just had this conversation with Temp really before I got on here. I was like, I'm 40 years backwards doing this. You know what? Better late than never. But God, what you want me to do?
Exactly.
And then, let me
but
take a sip.
It's one of those things that, it's the dwelling on the missed opportunity.
The hammockly dwelling on it too.
A lot of people, they look on their regrets and they sit on their regrets. And you said something that was so powerful. All right, you heard God, but did you do it? Did you do it? For those of you who are Christian, he said that my sheep hear my voice.
Ooh.
And a stranger they will not follow. So a lot of times that we're hearing, but who are you following? Are you following yourself? Are you following what God told you? Where's the action behind it? Are you going to let that thing pass you by? Because like you said before, his will going to be done. It's going to be done. Somebody going to do it. Okay, if you don't do it, I'm going to get somebody else to do it. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't really consider. It's like, you're not the only person that heard it. You're not the only person that he's going to talk to. Are you going to be obedient? Where's the obedience in it? If he talks to you, you hear him, you don't do it, you wait later on, and then you try to do something about it. The other person here, they go ahead and jump on it. And then later on, they might not do as good a job as you would, but they actually did it.
And somebody else helped them do it.
Exactly. He will work on all that on the way. A lot of people are stuck in the planning phase. Okay, well, I plan to do this and I plan to do that. Yeah, but when are you going to take some action? It don't matter how bad it come out. You just do it.
Just do it.
Ain't that the thing for the year?
Hey, that's
just
it,
do
right?
it. Nike gonna get us, but just go out there and do it. You don't know what's gonna happen. There's a scripture that says that I think it's like the lazy man or something like that. But he doesn't do things, and he'll say that the lion is out in the street, and basically what it means is taking your time or coming up with excuses of why you shouldn't do anything because of everything that could go wrong. What about the things that could go right?
Right.
Why is it that we're stuck in this mindset? Why is it that you hold back? Why is it that you even think about the missed opportunities? Everything is an opportunity to learn.
The fear of success.
And a lot of people have that. I had that.
You don't even understand how prevalent that is with the average mindset of why won't you do this?
It's a passed down fear. And I was looking at an article that was talking about the difference between how people speak and what they don't do for the rich and for the poor and the average. The way that I understand it, when you grow up in affluent places, they welcome the mindset of trying and failing. That's the way that you do it. You try and you fail. Because failure teaches you things that complacency can't. A lot of people like to be safe, especially people who are wage earners. If you are a wage earner, they look at, man, I got to get this nice, secure job. I got to do this, that, and the other. So the bills are coming in. They have no idea that the owner of the company is taking risks that you can be comfortable with. You just really feel like you're going to go to work and you're going to have a job tomorrow. You really are sitting in there feeling comfortable, not moving, because you know you are familiar with that. I'm familiar with sitting on the couch. I'm familiar with being around the same friends. I'm familiar earning what I earn. I'm familiar with the relationship that I'm in. I'm familiar around my relatives. I'm familiar staying in this neighborhood. I'm familiar with this weight that I got on. I'm familiar. I don't have to go and buy some more clothes.
Right.
You know, I'm familiar with not putting myself out there and being weird to other people. But what if you put yourself out there? What could you be?
Familiarity breeds content.
It does.
And that's what my teacher would say the whole time we were in school. I never understood it. But I knew what she meant, but I didn't understand it. But when you start getting older and you're understanding, like, you become too familiar with something, you don't respect it.
That's true.
You're not going to do what you're supposed to do to grow. Mm-hmm. There's no growth in what's the word you just said? There's no growth in being comfortable. Mm-hmm. You're the same thing every day, complacency. And complacency is the number one killer of relationships, especially marriages. Now, so my brothers, I'm going to say this, and I had to learn this the hard way. So shout out to everybody who's been in my past. But familiarity breeds content, and there is no growth in complacency. And the biggest issue that we have in relationships is complacency. Mm-hmm. And if you are with a woman, I was saying specifically a woman, if you're with a woman and you can never understand why she's always so freaking mad in the house, she just, I don't understand. She always upset about something. It's because she is made for growth. Mm-hmm. And when you're not growing and been the same place over and over and over and over with your relationship, if she's comfortable like that, you might need to look at her a little differently.
Exactly. Because
a woman is not made to be complacent. If she ain't pissed off with you at least once a month because you ain't done something right. And I'm not talking about this ghetto love pissed off. I mean, like, she's just, why ain't you did this? Why are we?
She's going to be like that maintenance check. You know, women are great.
That's what, thank you. She's the maintenance check of the house.
She is great until, hey, you know, you might want to do this, that, and the other.
Right.
She will remind you of who you are, even if you don't agree. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the things that you should be doing, she's going to remind you of that. She's going to challenge those things that make you do that. And for us leaders, we need that. We need a check and balance. We set the direction, we set the pace, but we always have our sovereign council. I put it like that. We have our sovereign council. And, you know, I had a commander used to say something. He said, you know what? The only thing that stay the same is change. And he would say that all the time. The only thing that stays the same is change. Whether you want to or not. Let's say you stay the same. You the young guy that's been where he at, and you'll be the old guy that's been where he at.
That's right.
The thing that changed was your age.
That's it.
The times have changed. Everything has passed you by. You're still there. But everything else changed around you, even yourself. You don't develop, you don't grow. And things that don't develop, things that don't change are memories and the death.
Oh.
When something is dead or it's not alive on an inanimate object, it tends to not change.
Boy, you be hitting us with these
when we look at, even if we all know if we have a water sitting in a glass, it sit there long enough, it'll stink because it's died. When you jump in the river, you think that's the same river. That's not the same water that's been in that river. That water's been all over the earth, and it's new. And the river that you jumping in is actually different water. The relationships that you think that you have. Well, my mom, it's always been, no, your mom is a different person. She was a young woman, now she's an older woman. And the same thing is you're not the same person, even though you think that you are. So when you're stagnant in a relationship, a woman will say, hey, this is starting to stink.
So she'll say something.
Yeah, something gonna happen. Something's gonna happen. And if you have a true partner, you know, a lot of us have. Let's go ahead and jump in. We said it isn't gonna be all about that, but we need to understand that how you choose the partner that you choose can show you those opportunities, so you don't miss them.
Mr. Farrakhan, I told you, I quote that man quite often. Mr. Farrakhan said, again, I think I said in the last one, the reason why you chose your mate can determine how long you'll stay together.
Man, what you talking about?
So most of us are in complacent relationships because we have chosen a person for the wrong reason.
Mm-hmm.
You chose them for their nice backside.
Mm-hmm.
You chose them for their sex. You chose them for their looks.
Mm-hmm.
So you're happy with those until something happens, like the fine and the devastating thing called time.
Mm-hmm.
When time starts to hit and weight starts to drop, facial features starts to change, then you start complaining and you want to get up out of it because that what you were comfortable with is no longer there.
You know what? I want to go a little further for those who choose a person because of status and money. I remember talking to an older woman when I was in my 20s. She was of retirement age. She was happy. They had a lot of money. Her and her husband having a lot of money, and she was going through a divorce. So here she is in her, 60s, really 50s, because they could have retired a long time ago. But they did an early retirement. She's almost 60. And or 60, it was something like around the late 56.
She got some age on her.
Yeah, she got some age. Beautiful woman, though. Gorgeous woman.
Oh, yeah.
And she was telling me, she said, you know what? She called me by my last name. She said, because I was in the Army at the time. She said, I'm looking at this guy, we've been together for decades. Got children, all our children grown, grandchildren grown. And she said, I'm looking at him. We had the money. We got the properties. We got the horses. Yeah, they had horses. We got, folks got dogs and cats. They got horses.
Horses on a whole nother level.
We got the businesses. And I'm looking at this life. And I'm looking at him. And I don't even like this motherfucker. And she's looking at, they want to retire, and she's going through a divorce because the only thing that she cared about was the status. But once the status is comfortable, once you're able to make your own, a lot of people look at things and they don't think about building a legacy. They don't think about building a nation. They don't think about past themselves. A lot of people want, but they don't want to give. And that's the only reason why we're here on this planet, is to what we can contribute. And my grandmother used to have a saying. She said, you know what? If you were here on this earth for yourself, he would have gave you your own earth and you would have been there by yourself. And a lot of us don't look at it that way. We look at what we can get out of it. But a lot of people who are listening to this podcast, and you've already made it, some people get there to the mountaintop and they go, oh, damn, is that it?
That is it.
Is this it? Is this all it is? Is this, I got the car. I got the car, but everybody else see it from the outside. You know what I mean? I can't even see it. I got the house. I got the businesses. Now it gets old. They get tired of playing. They get tired of, I've already did what they call make it. So there's an emptiness there. And they look at the opportunities they miss, and it was the time. They didn't enjoy themselves on the journey because they were just focused on making the money or making the status or doing what someone else told them. And a lot of us do that. We don't really look at the sum total of life. And a lot of us look at, well, I want to be balanced. Sometimes there's no time for balance.
There's none.
Sometimes you can't be home at 5. Sometimes you can't spend time with career. But you have to look at the sum total of everything and how you're getting fulfilled and how you're pouring into others.
But the thing about the sum total of everything is that you can only look at the sum total and appreciate the sum total when you understand and know what you're doing.
Exactly.
And too often, too many of us are just hamsters on the wheel of life, going 1,000 miles per hour, going nowhere.
Going nowhere.
Because you've not stepped off this wheel. Like you said, someone told you that this is what you're supposed to do. So you're running fast on there and you're not even enjoying it.
Yep.
You're just speeding and you're not doing nothing that you like.
Yep.
But when you step off that hamster wheel, and then you could look at what you've amassed thus far and say, either I like this or I do not. And if I don't like this, what do I need to do to make myself appreciate this more?
Exactly.
And we're not doing this. And again, we have these milestones in life. So a lot of my friends, we're turning 40 this year. So we're talking in different levels. And it's funny as I talk to my brothers and my sisters, and we're like, nigga, I'm 40. God damn.
It came quick.
Right. What have I done? And then they're now looking back, and we're all looking back like, what have we done? And then I deal with friends on various levels. So my friends that are doing well, they're looking at what they've amassed, the family, the house, the cars, the clothes, the businesses, and they're still like, I'm not happy. But why they're not happy? Because they didn't do what they wanted to do. They didn't get into the things that they wanted to do. They may have done it because someone else or because this is what they thought that they should have been doing. And you're a doctor. You're this person. But what are you doing it for? Are you happy? No, I'm not, man. You know, I really wanted to go be a truck driver. Why? I just like driving on the roads. But, you know, you got the money. The house is fabulous. The job is fabulous. But I'm just, you know, I don't like it. Well, brother, you too far along this road.
I'm a doctor, but I hate sick folks.
Right. But I'm like, bro, you're too far along the road now. So what you have to do now is find out what's going to make you happy and find out how to integrate that into your life.
And you know, that's some of those missed opportunities that we talk about.
Right.
A lot of people, what I've learned is to continue to set goals.
Oh.
So once you hit that goal, there's still life left. There's something else for you to do. And for those who hit those, I feel, remember like they talk about those people who peak in high school or who peak in college.
Yeah.
And you know, that's a sad thing.
That was a fear for me.
You know?
I did not want to peak nowhere near college, nowhere near it.
You know, with a lot of people, when they're looking at, can you imagine if you hit all your goals and you've made the millions and now you're like, okay, now what? A lot of people talk about like those child stars. You hit the peak very, very early. You've hit the echelon and the mountaintop. Okay, what now? That's when you set those other goals. And a lot of people who sacrifice so early, they feel like, man, I missed out. I didn't get any other parties. Now I go to the club and I'm the old guy.
Yes, you are.
And with the little chain on. Still looking like Fabo in the club. And a lot of people
Coolio.
A lot of people look at, you know, they have they've done all the partying, but they missed out on the relationship, you know, or they've done the studying and they've become the executive, or they have everything that the world tells them that they should have, but they don't have that love. But they don't love themselves for the decisions that they made. They're like, man, I missed the opportunity to make a friend. I had someone who was genuine and they looked out for me, and I missed that opportunity to really bond with that person. And my thing is, there's still life left. If you're listening to this podcast, you have time. Not only do you have time, like I said before, you're right on time. You recognize what you need, go out there and get it. Because there's always opportunities. You just have to open your eyes. You have to see what's going on, and you got to do it. See, there we go. There we go. There go your club right there.
That's it. That's an announcement for you to wake up.
Yeah.
Man, like we said the other day, it is no beautiful I don't know if that's even a word, but
We're gonna put it in.
we're gonna put it in that beautiful time to be living in, dispensation of time.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, the world is going to hell right now. They talking about, whenever you hear this, they're talking about they got an arrest warrant out for Putin, trying to get Trump in the news, a whole bunch of stuff going on in the world. But guess what? You still got tomorrow.
Yeah,
You can wake up and do something different.
That's true.
And you're in no greater country in the world to be in right now, because I've traveled the world. I'm trying to tell y'all, it is no better place to be in America for the one right of freedom of speech.
I'm telling you.
Like, if we were in any other country, we could not be doing this type of podcast without fear of repercussion from someone, because we may have said something that offended someone. Think about it. They say Putin is just gangster. Like, you speak out against this man,
that's it.
That's it. It ain't too much going on. Right. Y'all literally, the whole society of Republicans, let's say it like that, whole society of Republicans were saying F the black president for 8 years straight.
Yeah.
And no one said not a damn thing. It's like, oh man, that's just them and keep moving on. You couldn't have said that for 2 days straight.
No.
In Russia.
No.
So again, the missed opportunity is, I look like this. The missed opportunity is only the missed opportunity when you don't get off your behind and make something happen.
That's right. That's right.
Whatever happened to you in your life, whatever, I said like this, we too often use excuses as the reason in which why we don't do anything. Your excuse was, my mama didn't like me. She never said I love you. My mommy didn't do this, and my daddy didn't do this, and God forbid the other stuff happened to us in life, and as a result, I don't want to, and I feel bad. That is an excuse.
Man, what you talking
that you've now turned into a reason why you won't do what you need to do in your life.
That's true.
But what you didn't understand is that, yes, and people will never, a lot of folks don't like this comment, but I live with this all the way. Whatever happened in your life, it was allowed by God in some way or another. He allowed it to happen. Now, it's not for you to get upset with God. Yes, you can question him. How we question them, that's a different conversation. But yes, you can question God. But the bigger question then is, why did you allow this to happen to my life? What was supposed to be the result after this happened?
Exactly.
Are you supposed to be the person that gets out and figures out to make the change? Like a person being born with, like, I remember I was talking to this group of scientists, and they were saying that their biggest hope, desire, thought is that the cure from cancer is going to come from somebody who either had cancer or their family member died as a result of it. And they're going to figure out how no one ever will feel that pain again. So you ask the question of why this person had it. It was for the mom to have cancer, her to die at an age that the young man couldn't deal with. He got off his ass. He said, I'm going to figure out how to beat this. And no one else would go through the pain that I have. So every action has an equal reaction.
That's right.
Only if you choose to react.
That's right.
So we only miss opportunities because we choose to miss them. And I'm speaking, of my own life and the things that I've done, even down to dealing with these festivals and concerts and dealing with artist management, that a certain thing didn't happen because I chose not to do it.
Hey, that is.
I knew it was about to happen. I still said, man, I shouldn't do this, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how people are going to react to that one. Who cares?
Exactly. They going to do what they do.
What you eat don't make me.
I'm telling you.
And what I do is not going to bother you. It will probably piss a lot of folks off. I ain't going to lie. But it's not going to change your life. You're not working for the benefit of the next man unless that man is your child. You're working for the benefit of yourself. Right. So if you're going out, getting up 9 to 5 every day, or getting up at 6 o'clock to be at work by 8, to get off at 9, to go home, work out, do what you got to do. You're doing that for your success.
That's right.
And every opportunity in that, as a result from you getting up to work out, eat properly, it's a benefit for you. It's, I could have had some hanging out with my friends tonight and they was drinking and eating. Is it really a missed opportunity?
Exactly. Because you chose what's more important. A lot of us feel, okay, it's more important to sit down, not do anything, than to get this taken care of.
Oh.
Because a lot of us will let fear
of growth.
And that'll let us just keep you from doing and being who you're supposed to be or having what you're supposed to have. And the other thing is, a lot of us rest on our laurels. No one cares what you did back in 2009. What are you doing now? What is it? Who are you in the moment? Who are you? What are you doing in this moment? And the thing about missed opportunities, it's like, okay, it doesn't matter. That's the one thing about, okay, it was missed. It's gone. It's gone. It ain't no reverse button.
If was a fifth, we'll all be drunk.
Look.
I live with that one. But
that's the message, right now, it's don't let it happen again.
That's it.
Don't let it happen again. Do what you educate yourself and then take action. The thing is, train yourself to take action. Train yourself to do it. Train yourself to do what it takes to make it to your next step. Plan out your steps and actually time yourself. Give yourself a deadline, because how are you going to disrespect you? That's disrespectful. A lot of us, when you don't do the thing that you promised yourself, whether God told it to you, whether you came, whatever you want to call it, my highest self, but you're disappointing you. You're being disrespectful to yourself. You owe it to yourself. A lot of us will listen. We'll listen to the police. We'll listen to our friends.
Everyone else.
We'll listen to everybody but us. So if your boss tell you, well, you have a 1:00 deadline, you do everything to obey someone that you dare call boss. But who's in charge? Is it you or is it them? Because the brilliant thing that you have to have is some type of discipline. And if you lost it, it's okay. It's okay. Pick yourself up. Discipline yourself. To thine own self be true. Be true to who you are, who you really are. That person that you see yourself as, it's really you. You just have to do it. It's not there in your head for no reason. And a lot of us, we don't want to take the action. We don't want to keep the promise that we made to ourselves. But the thing is, that promise is going to keep you to the next level. And then once you get to that next level, trust me, there's always another one.
There's always another level.
Always another one. And that's the great part.
Surprise.
Is that there's always another one.
That's it.
Because you don't have to be settled. You don't have to only have that and go, that's it. This is the mountaintop. No, there are other things to do. So a lot of times we, like some people fall from grace, but that's a good thing. To make it and then fall means that things have changed and you have an opportunity to experience something else. Because to feel the same thing every day, all day is boring. That's not a beautiful song.
Sometimes the greatest thing that can happen to you in your life is to fail.
Yeah.
And if you don't agree with that, you haven't really experienced life yet.
I'm telling you. It's coming.
It's coming. Because a failure, it allows you to see things from a different perspective.
Oh, yeah.
Failure allows you to see, number one, who actually is with you.
Mm-hmm.
And this is from me failing a lot. And that's the word. If you try to sugarcoat it, then you're messing up again. Accept it as it. It is a failed opportunity. Whatever it is, you failed at it. All right. Don't lay in the hammock, shoulda, coulda, woulda, crying. yeah, you might go cry. Trust me, I failed at some stuff, and I sat there and cried for like 2 days straight. But in the crying, I'm talking to God. What didn't I do wrong? What didn't I do right? And then sometimes you did everything right. It just wasn't the time. It wasn't time for it to happen.
Yep.
So things done out of due season do more harm than good.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to learn, okay, again, God, what is it you want me to do?
Exactly.
Because I'm doing what I want to do. It ain't time for that yet.
Yeah. What did I learn?
What? So, number one, you see who's with you.
Mm-hmm.
Then you see what it is that you actually did wrong,
Yeah.
and what can actually be improved on the next one. Because, yeah, you may have done everything right, but a hurricane came and you doing a concert. Remember, I did this festival one year, and we were doing the festival. And like, this is like my 5th year doing it. And it stormed for a weekend straight. Like a hurricane came up out of Florida. Matter of fact, I can even tell you if you all look up the Shaky Knees Festival. The Shaky Knees Festival was the same year started that I was doing my event. And they got a lot more play because, anyhow. But Shaky Knees, they got stormed out too.
Man.
We were the only 2 festivals that weekend.
Man.
And we were stormed out. And I remember sitting up there thinking, I got to figure out how to get this money back to people. How do we do this? But at the same time, it taught me that, all right, brother, things will go wrong.
Yeah.
But what do you do?
Exactly.
Are you going to depend on me and say, hey, bro, God, you got me here, so I trust you're going to get me up out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And then it taught me that rain insurance. Rain insurance.
Exactly.
You better have a backup.
Mm-hmm.
So all these things, again, failure helps to grow you
That's true.
if you choose to look at it for what it is.
That's true.
It's an opportunity for growth and development. As long as you're not sitting on your behind crying, woe, it is me. And when you're doing the crying, the woe, it is me, I had to look this up right here, people. This is one of my brothers hit me with this the other week. We're having a conversation. And he said, this was not to me directly, I'm saying it now. But he was, we were talking to a group of men, and he was saying excuses are monuments of nothing that build bridges to nowhere. Those that use these tools of incompetence are fools and masters of nothing. And he said it because, as he said, his father used to say that to him as a reminder to keep pushing. And I said, damn, that is life changing.
I'm telling
If you really just take that in, it takes you nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
So the failure of a situation, if you sit back on it in the hammock and woe is me, and I say woe is me because I used to hear people say, oh my God, woe is me. Why? When Minister Farrakhan would say, when people say, God, why me? Why me? Why me? Why not me?
Exactly. Exactly.
You have me going through this. Think about Jonah, Job, Esau, Noah, Moses, anybody in the Bible, because most of y'all are probably Christian to listen to this too, but we know everyone. But think about anybody in any scriptural references. What if Moses said, when God told him, talk about a burning bush, I got something for you to do. I need you to pick up this right here, pick up this staff, go tell Pharaoh, let my people go. And then when he asks you who sent you, tell him that I am sent me. And But he did say, oh, no. He said, I have a stammering tongue. Send my brother with me. I know God had to look at him like, mother.
I just told you.
Don't you think I know you got a stammering tongue? But you know what? Cool. I understand we all need a little backup. All right, call your brother Aaron. He going to roll with you. But you still going to do this.
You still doing it.
You still doing this.
You know what? And I like to hear that. I love to hear Bible, but a lot of people don't realize that they were just the reason why they chose those characters, those people. It could be any one of us. That the Bible could be written at any time, and he can pick random people.
That's it.
What if this guy didn't do this? And the thing is, when things happen to you, like you said, why not you? Because you got to learn the lesson.
Joseph.
You got to learn the lesson.
Come on.
You have to be. A lot of people, well, why I got to be the one to be the first person to get out of power? Why not you? It got to happen to somebody. Those things cultivate us. Those things that they build us to what we're supposed to be. And the thing is, sometimes things happen to you because it's supposed to happen.
Right.
Sometimes you're doing so well, you got people attached to you who should not be attached to you.
The failure.
Yeah.
Who's with you?
So when the water get hot, when the fire get hot, they fall off. All those supposed to be friends, you've been walking with them for a long time, not understanding that person was a leech. That person, what they call it, a tick. They were draining you, and because you were so big, you didn't feel it. You had those family members that pretended that they loved you, and they weren't for you.
The devil's walking with you. You didn't even know.
You didn't even know.
And in our scriptural book, these three men, I think, excuse me for not saying it right, but y'all get it. These three men were walking up to God. I think it's also in the Bible too. And the Bible says, "Where goeth thou, Satan?" And then they look over, who the hell are you talking to? He said, "Him. You walking with the devil."
You don't even know.
You don't even know. He says, "Well, I've been walking to and fro in the land, gathering up those that I can find." And they're like, "What? We've been kicking it with the devil
the whole time." And that's a good thing, to have things fall off of you. So you can that makes you focused.
Yeah, right.
Failure and missed opportunities, those are to show you where your focus should be, because you were unfocused.
Focus?
You weren't really, you didn't feel that sense of urgency.
Man.
You didn't have that. So now that you don't have a place to stay, now that that car did mess up on you, now that you're in a lesser position, now you understand the urgency. Now that you're older, you understand the urgency of time. Now that you are lonely, you understand the importance of relationships. Now that, a relative has died, now you understand the importance of family. Now that that money is gone, you understand the importance of stability. And so it's those things are always teaching us something. But the thing is, have you learned
the lesson?
Have you learned? It's not about being taught. It's about learning. And learning requires you. A teacher requires a teacher. But the learning doesn't take place until you understand and you start doing.
Message.
And that's what we all need to understand is we have to focus on the doing. It ain't the back window, it's the front window you need to be looking at.
That's it, man. Come on, man. We're too busy, as they say. You're too busy focusing on that rearview mirror and what's happening behind you. You're focusing on everything that happened. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. My father says it like this. He says, hindsight is good. Future sight, great. But to be in present, to know what's going on is the best. Because when you're looking in the past, coulda, woulda, shoulda, lost opportunities. You're looking in the future. Tomorrow ain't guaranteed. But right now, if I can look into the insight of what God has given me, what God has put right there in the front of me, I can make this happen so I could change my future. But most of us, as you say, you're looking in that rearview mirror. You're looking in the back window. You're looking in the side window. But right in front of you in this car is the windshield.
There it is.
And what's coming at you is a swarm of locusts. And you don't know, get your butt off the road. Danger's coming.
Yeah.
So we are in this situation, like you said, the missed opportunity is only missed because you choose to not pay attention.
Mm-hmm. And as a matter of fact, that even hits harder because at the time you weren't focused on the present.
Oh, come on. We put the seasoning
you
on
weren't
this.
looking at the present.
Right.
You were still steady looking at what a lot of us are so focused on the future, on the road ahead, that we don't see the road right in front of us. Like you said, a lot of us, we're driving and we're thinking about, man, when I get home, I'm going to get a hold of them ribs in there. I can't wait to go and sit down. And you're not focusing on the road. And you done ran off the road. You done hit somebody because you're daydreaming.
Daydreaming and thinking about
You're not focusing on the task at hand. And I think that that's what it is. Focus on the time at hand right now. Right now.
And right now, in this present dispensation of time, excuse me in my word, killing it, is that we all have to be focused on self.
Yeah.
It is nothing wrong with being stingy.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man.
What is the first law of nature?
Yes.
Self-preservation.
Yeah.
And too many of us are not working on self-preservation.
Mm-hmm.
What we're working on is trying to be the representative so we can attract the next person.
Yeah.
And we always say, so those who don't know what a representative is when you meet someone, ladies, you understand this more than men do, but when you meet that debonair individual who's charming and good looking, got that nice cologne on, and he says all the right things, and you decide to get into a relationship with them, and a month later, you're like, who the fuck is this right here?
A great actor.
That's who it is. He showed you his representative, and his representative is the person that he wanted you to fall in love with. Mm-hmm. So what we're doing right now as a people, we have been too often focused on the representative to attract the good job, to attract the good mate, to attract whatever it is that we're trying to attract, instead of sitting down asking, God, what is it I'm supposed to be doing? Mm-hmm. And who am I supposed to be falling into? I'm supposed to be falling in love with self. And this is why I respect women on so many levels. When you see sisters who say, I've been single for 7-8 years, and the man be like, God, nigga, that's too long right there. That's a long time. But if you look at that sister who's like that, to most folks say, oh, she crazy as hell. But just study that sister for a lot of times. You will see she ain't crazy. She's more in tune with herself than the average person. Mm-hmm. Like you said on the, I think, other episode when we were talking that a man who's been broke, jail, brokenhearted, all these things that's forced the man. We have to be forced, unfortunately. We be forced in situations where we're by ourselves. But those who are forced to come into acknowledgement of self, mm-hmm. to be able to sit down and say, this is me. Mm-hmm. Like it or not, this is me right here. What do you want to do? Mm-hmm. Those men are the most powerful. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad says that the man who can control what's between his teeth and what's between his legs can control the world. Mm-hmm. And the only way you can start controlling those is when you get to know self.
That's right.
You don't have to chase every rabbit hole. At that point, you don't have to respond to everybody.
That's true. And
once a man gets to that point, you can't touch him.
I'm telling you.
Because what is it that you have to give to him? A man who can control his mouth don't want everything. Mm-hmm. I don't need to eat. I don't need to go after this bit of money. Mm-hmm. I know I want it, but I don't need it. Mm-hmm. God gonna make everything happen for me. I don't want any woman. I want that woman.
Man.
Or whatever you may want in your life. But, I want that specific thing. You are controlling self. Mm-hmm. Then you're focused.
And you said something about some of those who have the appearance of outward success. Mm. And the thing is, a lot of people chase what they think a good life is. But the same thing applies. I don't just want a good life. I want my life. A lot of people, especially those who are from Asian countries or African countries, they're living the life that their parents wanted, but it was never for them. They were told to be an engineer. They were told to be an accountant. They were told to be a doctor, and they're miserable. They were told to marry this person. They were told that they need to have these things in life, and none of it is fulfilling. And they become very, very embittered. They age quicker. They are always, or they're just dead inside. And the thing is, the life that you have now, who chose that? Who chose it for you? Was it you that chose it?
Was the man in the mirror?
And that's one thing that we, make sure that you're the one choosing what you have. If you found your focus and direction, A lot of us, we don't do that. Like, okay, well, here's what I want. Well, if that's what you want, go after it.
What's stopping you but you?
And whether or not you have something stopping it, overcome it. It don't matter, because it's always somebody who's doing worse than you. I've heard people go, man, I wish I could speak in public like you do, but I got this and I got that. There's a public speaker who doesn't have arms and legs.
Right.
You're doing better than him, and you won't speak.
Man, come on.
There are people who don't talk and wrote books. There are people out there who have a lot worse situation than you. They don't have any of the opportunities that you have. They don't have any other technology, and they're outdoing you. And there's somebody out there with the position that you want. There's somebody out there that the life that you want, and they don't even want it.
That's a whole nother conversation.
They don't even want it.
Appreciating everything. I mean, even down when you talk about those who, I love my black brothers who are rappers. I do. And, because the average one, and I'm saying like average, mean hell, 9 out of 10 of them started from nothing, literally. And like one of my favorite rappers right now, most everybody's is DaBaby. I mean, most of my favorite rappers are actually a bunch of street brothers, period. Like Tip, Jeezy, Jay-Z, But when you look at their story, every one of these brothers literally started from, I'm back against the wall, I'm on the street, I ain't got nothing. But I heard this opportunity over here. I wasn't even trying. All of them, I wasn't trying it. I was better doing this over here in the streets. But my man told me, he heard me one day jokingly, and my man is like, oh yeah, man, you need to do this. What? Whatever. I'm over here doing. And again, you need to do this. And then they stop. All right, let me try it. And when they try it, they go ahead and get the life that everyone else is trying to get to. But I guess that's why everybody want to be a rapper. But not everybody's meant to be rappers. But taking that opportunity, because it could have been missed. When you talk about, they could have been doing something else, but they have another conversation.
But pursuing it relentlessly.
Yeah.
And not giving up. If you know that you're supposed to be doing something, a lot of us will let small things throw us off.
Very small.
And they go, well, that wasn't small. This happened. No, it's smaller than your dream. It's small. If you're saying, hey, I want to be a marine biologist, and whatever it is that's blocking you is smaller than your dream. I want to have, so whatever success that you wanted, or you want to have a relationship, but you're afraid of approaching men or putting yourself out there. What you're doing is smaller. That obstacle that you have is smaller than where you see yourself. And you're bigger than that.
So
I think that it's who we are is more important than what we go through. And that's the thing that we have to focus on. It's the you.
And with that being said, this is our outro music.
Oh, okay, the quiet storm.
I told you. So, yeah, we're here. We're trying to do an hour on this thing, and we're going to get better on this one. So just stay with us. I'm trying to tell you, it's going to get better and better. We're working this out. Shout out to my big homie Cash Flow. Yeah, we out here. I like this little outro.
Yeah, man.
It's real nice. It's a nice melody to encapsulate everything that we done kind of went through on every show, and now we out here. So thank you all again for another episode of Cocktails and Conversation. That's it. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm good, baby. I'm good. So, hell yeah. I like this. Quiet storm, everybody.
Join us next time.
Yes, for another episode. Good night.